it wasn't kind of win early. Number 2, the keeper did a head fake that got PC, and number 3, it wasn't a good penalty.
Yeah, interesting fact. Last night there were 3 missed PKs in USL Championship. So
I know I saw that. I was going through the stats last night, and I was like, "How many missed PKs are there? Good Lord, man, what has happened? What?" So I didn't feel that bad, but at the same time, kind of felt bad.
Plus, we got the goal when it mattered. So if we hadn't got the goal,
that's correct. That would have been
a different discussion.
Garbage. Yeah, but yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's continue with the game.
So, but for that here, Detroit City had a couple of good shots in the first half.
Yeah, they definitely got to the inline on our right side, on their left side, which was Gomez's side to defend. They got a lot of joy going to the inline. Or no, I'm sorry, that was Maloney's side to defend.
Right.
And that's just because Maloney kind of kept coming up a little bit to try to help out in the offense. So they got to the inline quite a few times and kind of crossed it back, and like I said, they had some joy doing that, and luckily we were able to defend it out. We're strong in the box. We definitely commanded our box really well, and Christian Bonilla had a couple of very vital and solid saves.
This one coming up here, I really enjoyed here off of
he knows how to anticipate shots. That's the one thing I noticed. That he's really on the shots.
His footwork is impeccable. That's there you go.
He saw that the whole way.
Yeah. Yeah, his footwork is excellent. His eyes are excellent, and his anticipation's excellent. He's definitely the upgrade that we've needed. Not a slight to Cardoni. Cardoni is a top USL keeper. Bonilla is just a step above that.
Your thoughts on Bonilla there, Rafa, our goalkeeper coach?
Like I said, let's just watch on the video. You can see, like what Roy said, is he's a little bit. I guess I say better as far as technique wise, anticipating the balls, being at the right place. Just the reaction is a lot quicker.
How was he on commanding the back line? With the vocals. I know that's not something that. I went to the bunker for the second half, so I wasn't down there. When he, down in on the north end for the second half.
He did speak to the defense, but he wasn't like a Mercado. I was talking the whole time, but he did when it needed to be done. So he wasn't really too quiet, but he like I said, for him, I guess with all the experience he has, he really doesn't have to do too much. I think he put a lot of trust in the defense, but you also got to give it to Mitchell, because he really kind of anchored that defense.
And Mitchell did well, I thought,
and he pretty much took control of that. But when he had to kind of step up as far as kind of directing him, he took control on that.
No, for sure, and that's what I noticed. Mitchell's definitely the captain in the back. He was doing the same fist pumps and the same yelling during the playoff last season. Same thing with Maloney. Maloney was just locked down on that right side, especially in the second half. When he didn't have to go up and attack, he could sit back and defend when we got the lead. And that's what he did. He just prevented all kinds of crosses from coming in because they kept trying to attack that same side, and he just shut it down. Mitchell had a couple vital saves and really helped out. I will say, because Connor Maloney and Mitchell Taintor, we know them as top defenders in this league. The one who surprised me with his play last night was Carter Manley. Holy crap, he was good. I did not expect him to be as good as that. I'll be honest. I don't think he ever looked that good in RGV. He looked fantastic.
Nobody looks good in RGV. Come on.
Fair. Shout out to Ollie Wright. Sorry, man. But
even Garcia looked good too. I mean, All three of them. All three of them were great.
Yeah. Yeah. Garcia, the only knock on Garcia is just he doesn't have the height. That's it. And if he's going to be that center back, that's kind of rough to be, to not be as tall. But at the same rate, all three center backs looked fantastic last night, and they worked really well, and they communicated really well.
You could tell, and that was the one consistency through the preseason was the back line. For that here. Now there are rumors that there is reinforcements possibly coming. For that here, which they do need.
Yeah, we need to get on the phone to our government official to sort that out.
The ambassador.
We need some help with visas. Come on, and I know it's not. It's an issue that's across the league and all across the United States right now. Just to be fair, because
it's across the United States, and this also is not a unique issue to Spurs Sports Entertainment either, because they have had visa issues before getting players that they've announced, and they're just not able to get into the country after they announced them because of a certain president's really dumb law. So let's move on.
Yeah, we're moving forward here. So first half in 0-0. San Antonio had the PK opportunity, which was probably the big miss on there, obviously, because you expect it to convert the PK. But I thought both teams did okay. Which I think is going to be a common theme for this.
The first half was pretty sloppy, and you could tell it was the first of the season. You could also tell it was San Antonio. This is basically San Antonio FC's preseason match, the first one with their full starting 11, which I don't have a problem with. It's a long season. The pressing style that we play, you don't want to get injured in the preseason. We've discussed this in previous podcasts.
Correct.
So this was basically hey, this is your preseason. It also counts, so don't screw it up too bad. And they didn't. They played a little sloppy. It was very direct going up top. There were a lot of long balls to Deshane Beckford to get at the end of. A lot of long balls to Justin Dillon, JD, to hold up and to distribute. But I mean, it was. Was it effective? We got some chances off of it, but it wasn't the most buttoned down attack.
Yeah, if you look now, this is for the game. They had 9 shots, 6 on target. So if you're looking at that, hey, it's 66% accuracy
for sure. And we had 46% possession. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the thing that me and Rafa were talking about this pre-match. The press didn't seem to be like the press from last year. Where to me, it wasn't as high and it wasn't as aggressive, in my opinion. And part of that could be Detroit City, just on how they were kind of setting back as well. Your thoughts on the press, in the first half and kind of overall on the game?
I think we didn't do enough of it. One thing with Detroit City is their back three was not. You can tell they were not experienced, and they were not comfortable being pressed. And every time when we did it, they either give a bad pass, they took the ball out of bounds. There's one time even the goalkeeper got lucky that he didn't get the ball stolen from him. And then we just started kind of going away from it. It's like if we had to add a little bit more pressure, be a little bit more aggressive, and fully press him, I think we would have kind of created a couple of chances to put the ball in the net in that first half. So, but I don't know if that has more to do because we're out a couple of the forwards that we had to save some energy for the second half. That's a possibility. So, they kind of had to pick and choose their spots when they did the pressing. But I think we should have done it a lot more. I think we could have gone a good 3-0 result.
you can definitely tell that SAFC wanted to sit back and allow Detroit City to come forward so they can press, take off the ball, and counter. But that didn't happen because Detroit City FC was very reluctant to come forward. So it was two teams that were very reluctant to possess the ball, and two teams that were kind of reluctant to really attack with their full team. So it was, the first half was kind of a war of attrition. And then the second half kind of started similarly, but Detroit City tried to attack a little bit more. And then we got the goal, and they had to come out, and you could tell they had to come out because they were very unorganized. I will definitely agree that back line for Detroit City looked very shaky last night. Their goalkeeper saved them. Without that goalkeeper, it is 3-0. It is 4-0. Their goalkeeper, definitely their man of the match last night. He looked really good. He looked very solid.
And I want to give a shout out to Nate Steinwasser, like I said here, pre-match, while I was warming up, the banter going back and forth. He was pretty good. He was pretty funny and kind of came back at me a little bit, which was fun, and it was all in good fun here. So shout out to Nate. Like I said here, good luck rest of the season here. And like I said here, I thought Detroit City, I don't think we underestimated Detroit City, but I think there's a sense out there among the USL community that, hey, this is from NISA, it's the NISA All-Star team. They had some quality now. I spoke with a couple of Detroit City supporters. They know this year's probably going to be a little bit thin, or a little bit, they're not going to have the USL quality. They're not going to have our payroll, just for the fact that, they paid to get out of NISA and, a couple other things, that came out budget wise. But I still think that Detroit City showed well, especially in the first half, as we saw with Monterey Bay. They got blitzed in the first half, playing Phoenix. They were down 4-0, but 30, by the mid 30s. So I thought Detroit City first half, showed, hey, that they're going to be a legitimate team. And just like with San Antonio FC, they got some things to work on. We got some things to work on, for that here as well. So moving to the second half here, for that here. So it kicks off here. That was a good shot. Here comes the goal. Well, no, it wasn't.
This goal is definitely reminiscent from last season. Really good play by a number 10 in JD. Last season, we had a couple goals that Ollie Wright and JD combined on really well to set up plays. This one was basically the same understanding where JD passes it right back to Deshane. Deshane has a little dink. Or I'm sorry, Loera. David Loera had a little dink over. JD got on the end of it. Dinked it right over the keeper, and Fabian is there to, I don't know if he so much as attacked that ball as much as he just kind of let it hit him in the face and go in the goal, which, you know what, they all count. And this play is very pretty. The understanding between David and JD was absolutely great. My favorite part of this whole sequence, though, besides the goal, I guess my second favorite part, is that if you notice the Detroit City FC center back, they both go after the ball. One runs into his own guy, pushes him over, and then looks around like, hey, where's the foul call? Dude, you pushed your own player over, my guy. That's the best part of the whole sequence. He puts his hands up like, hey, I fouled my own player.
It's not me anymore.
To me, David has to find a spot in the starting lineup, though.
We'll see. I honestly think, and this is what I've said, especially in the preseason. We are trying to do a double pivot midfield. We're trying to lock down everything. We're trying to be down, and then we're trying to be direct up front with our pace, which is it's very that should have been a better shot. It's very it's a very effective strategy, especially when when your speedsters can actually get out there and show what they have. But we're going to be a lot less attacking like we were last season, especially with Gallegos. But I will say, David Loera, as advertised, basically the Pirano / Gallegos replacement. He looked great dribbling. He really spaced out the Detroit defense, and he looked great last night. I will say that. And if we are going to go as a similar lineup as last season, with kind of David at the tip of the midfield, and then you have the three in front of him. So basically, David taking the Nathan role. I think he can fill the Nathan role in a Gallegos capacity. I think he has that ability, and I think that could be something exciting to look for later this season.
The offense looked more flowed more with him, and it really opened up a lot more space. I honestly think he needs to start I think with Beckford, with those two, and let's say with Patino or even Dillon up front, that's a real lethal combination there. And I don't think any team can handle their speed, and especially I know Beckford had some great runs in the first and second half. He just needs to release the ball a little bit or take shots.
But I wonder if we have Collier or Mane up top instead of what was it, Diaf through there. If that, because from my understanding, Collier and Mane are both quick and also offer dribbling skills
I think
David does.
I think Collier is definitely more of a 10. From what I've heard, I don't think he's a hold up forward like Dillon. Right. I think he's more of a dribbler. I think he connects the midfield to the attack. I will agree with Gordinho here. Or should I call him a Flaquinho now? Mr. Jim Rat. That Loera might be your new super sub, just to come in and give the offense a little different look. And that different looked really good last night. But like I said, with Mane and with Beckford, and with probably Patino up top, or maybe even JD still, they're just going for pace. They're going for outright raw pace, and they have it in gobs because they were so much faster than anybody on Detroit. It wasn't even funny. Nobody could keep up with them. It's just the very first game of the season, and the finishing boots weren't exactly on. But Deshane had some runs where I was like, "Holy crap! No one is going to stop this kid." And he had one good shot that I thought was a goal where he took the ball from our side of the half and just ran through everybody and got the shot, but it went directly at the keeper. So.
Yeah, I think in what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. First coach of the Scorpions, Tim Hankinson, on the play-by-play said, defensive, starting out is typically where you'll see teams excel at the start of the season, and the offense is the one that takes a little bit longer to develop, for that here, which I thought was a very good point. That as long as we're stout defensively, that especially getting for the start of the season, because the offense is going to click when we start getting people back healthy, getting that depth built back up. Because I don't think San Antonio, and this is just my opinion, I think they'd prefer Dillon to come off the bench to be that holdup, and have more Patino or Collier or Mane up top, compared to Dillon as far as how they want to play. So. But that's my thoughts. So the game ends 1-0 on here. I know we've kind of talked about it, but overall thoughts on the game?
Like I said, it was the first one. It was basically like a test drive. Plus, and then all the lineup changes too up front. So that was not expected. But I think, like I said, we're gonna the positives is our defense is better as far as and faster, and our goalkeeping is way better now. That's the positives I have. And then I do see some of the bench players coming in. Like I said, David is probably gonna be that super sub, and he's gonna. Like I said, we may see him even start some games depending on the matchups, who we'll be up against and so forth. But that was, Abu PC. It basically was another day in the office for them. I don't think PC got a yellow card, right?
No, he did not.
So
how he avoided that, I don't know.
Oh, I'll tell you how he avoided that. Getting kicked in the groin with a cleat, and the other guy not getting a red card. That will do it. PC got hit
he got
in this game.
Yeah.
He got tripped. He got kicked. PC had a rough go of it. For his reward, he has a missed PK and no yellow card though, so that's definitely a plus.
Yeah, also Maloney had a great game. I mean, he had a really good game. He had some key blocks on some crosses, and his defending was great. He was kind of like the forgotten person out of this because we all thought he was probably going to come off the bench, but he still has those wheels, and he's still clicking out there. So I'm glad to have him back there because he really brought a lot of leadership there to keep everything hold up there in the back end.
Yeah, talking about the discipline side here, San Antonio had 18 fouls, Detroit City had 19, 3 yellow cards for us, 4 for them. So, like I said here, I thought it was a pretty evenly reffed match. I'm sure each team can probably pinpoint saying, "Hey, this should have changed here, this should have changed there." I know Todd was a little bit upset about about the handball, on if it was a valid handball or not. Like I said here, it hit the hand, in my opinion here, but I thought the ref did all right. There wasn't anything that was clear and obvious, like what we'll get to, in the Tulsa match that they missed.
Good Lord. Yeah, I will say real quick, the IFAB rules change all the time, but I think what the ref called was exactly what the new rules are now. I've been trying to watch the Champions League a lot because they do keep changing the definition of a handball, and I think it's just your hand in an unnatural position and the ball hitting your hand. I don't think ball to hand has anything to do with it. I don't think that's a rule anymore where ball to hand doesn't count. I think it's just straight up I think it's a handball as far as the rules are now. And Gordinho or Flaquinho, I need to change that, I guess. He asked, "Is the weather to blame for the lack of fans?"
Yeah, I was going to get that too.
And the fact that it was the Spurs game after Coach Popovich broke the record for most games won by a head coach. That's why there were a lack of fans.
Well, I think that the weather did play a part, though.
No, it was definitely weather. It was cold as crap. It was pretty uncomfortable, but there were also 6,000 fans in the seats for the weather being that crap.
Well, that was announced.
That's still
that was announced.
That's how many tickets they sold. I mean, that's still quite a bit. That's 3.
Yeah, you gotta give a shout out to that, to that tifo there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Crocketeers and Mission City and 210 Alliance worked together on this. I know it was mainly Crocketeers, but Robert was out there. So good morning, Robert. When you get up here and catch this on the other side, and like I said, here it was the first tifo that I did. I didn't do any of the details because I'm not artistic, but I can paint black paint in an open area here. But no, I thought it was done well. Jenica and the gang, did an awesome job here. For that here, and I know
keep it the whole game up. They should have just left it there the whole game.
I don't think they could have. I mean, it's like a normal tifo where they put it up before the game. I wish they would have held it up a little bit longer so everybody could see it. But that was incredible. That was some great work by the Crocketeers and all the volunteers, Jenica and everybody involved. That was amazing to see. I would love to see if they could try to hold that up. Just in the bunker somewhere, you said during the game. That'd be incredible. And I believe it's going to be written in stone. We are the Gatos Blancos. I think that's
it is. We have an identity.
Yeah, it's nice to see some great artwork, not some pre-K stuff. So kudos to the Crocketeers on Harry and you guys for creating that.
And that was definitely the thing that I was hoping for, was a organic mascot, and we got it. I do know a lot of the NGS people were trying to do research, and they were bringing up a Stinger and everything, and I decided to stay out of the social medias and to tell them, buddy, different franchise, my guy.
Mr. Hankey got retired, so
that's correct.
I still want Stinger to come back though. So I won't lie. I like the Stinger. He was fun. So
I prefer the Spurs Coyote, but that's just me.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna lead it.
He's basketball. Yeah, let him there. If it I prefer no mascots personally, but outside of the the cat that comes on the pitch every once in a while. So any final thoughts on the Detroit City match?
I saw 11 got those Blancos on the pitch last night.
We did. Any final thoughts on the Detroit City match before we kind of turn a little bit to next week?
I mean, it's for the first game. I mean, we got a good result. Just like not last year when Patino had that hat trick, but it's a good result. Like I said, first game of the season, get some momentum because now we hit the road for 2 straight weeks. So, and hopefully we can get some points there on the road and before the big one coming up in April against Phoenix.
Yeah, so out west, last night's action, the Switchbacks beat Orange County 2-1. RGV beat Oakland 1-0. Frank Lopez goal, former San Antonio FC, and around the 30th minute. Phoenix blitzed Monterey Bay Union 4-2. It was coasted. Probably the big surprise, Sacramento putting 3 up on El Paso, but I watched the highlights of the game. El Paso missed a PK, but the 2 goals that Sacramento scored late, in the 80+ minutes was the second one. El Paso got caught being too far forward, and it was a 1-on-1. And for that here, I will also say that, I might see if I can find the replay there. I am shocked that the El Paso goalkeeper did not get a red card for taking out the defender for Sac Republic in the box, and only got a yellow. And then Rodrigo Lopez scored the first PK for the first goal. So El Paso took the L, and then in who we play next.
Real quick about that El Paso game. They just got countered on. That's kind of their fault for trying to be, a very attacking. And that's kind of what their style is going to be. Is they're going to be attacking, but that's going to leave them vulnerable to a counter. And guess what? Their defense wasn't that great last night, and they lost. That's a legitimate loss. It's not
you didn't get no reds.
yeah, exactly. It's not a we possessed the ball, so we deserve to win. No, you didn't put the ball in the net enough, so you deserve to lose. Period.
Yeah, I think I am not high on El Paso as much as other people are, but
I think El Paso is going to go through a SAFC with Darren Powell phase where they really try to come out as attacking, and they do so kind of naively, and they just don't get the job. They don't get me wrong; they'll score a lot of goals, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily translate into wins.
And then who we played next? LA Galaxy 2 lost on the last kick of the game to San Diego Loyal. They were down
90+7. Good Lord, that's heartbreak. And an own goal, right?
Did they score an own goal? I know
somebody lost in the very end to an own goal. I thought it was.
It was an own goal, but it was a shot from. It was a shot from a Loyal player that rebounded off. But what was funny is the time, and I know it's subjective, was 90+5, and they were still playing 90+7. So I have a feeling that Los Dos was probably not not exactly happy with that here, but the Galaxy did have a red card in,
I was
in the
going to say
82nd minute.
Plus Galaxy 2, Los Dos were down to 10 men, and the ref decided to go more than 2 minutes over announced stoppage time. So those two factors, that's a rough loss, and that's a head shaker for sure.
Not
and,
that.
And the worst part is it went even longer than that because it shows San Diego Loyal had a sub a couple minutes after the goal. What happened? It looks like the ref decided to arbitrarily double the stoppage time.
Ref kissing Donovan's.
And San Diego's got their own issues this week here with a certain signing that they brought in, but we won't go there with Andrew Carlton for that here. But to me, like I said here, so playing LA Galaxy 2, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find any content creators for them for that here. If you're planning on going to the game, most likely good luck trying to get in, because from my understanding, from the folks in Orange County, LA Galaxy isn't selling tickets for Los Dos for that here. So I'll be glad when they are gone from the league here, like I said here. But that LA, San Antonio travels to LA Saturday night, late kickoff. I've heard that there is going to be a watch party at the Alamo, or is it the Alamo Beer for that here. I might see about doing a watch along here at the house. If you don't want to travel down and still be part of the conversation for that here. Final thoughts on the David Lyons came up with here with Santi up top. We can play more level to level. JD comes back quite a bit and vacates space up top if we get a quick counter. Indecisiveness, some rushed for no reason at times still. So any thoughts on David's comment there?
Yeah, Dylan did come down a lot. He left a lot of space up. So we didn't have anybody. When we did steal the ball, we didn't really have anybody up top to really kind of send it up. Santi kind of stays up the whole time. I think they need to fix that. But Santi wasn't available, so
I don't know if I agree with that. Patino does come back. I mean, as he basically plays. So basically, the role of the 9 is very similar to how the USMNT utilizes the 9, where they will come back and they will help out a lot in the midfield. You see this with Jesus Ferreira. This is kind of what he's known for, as well as I'm blanking. Giassi Zardes does this a lot, where he comes back as a 9 and helps the midfield out and helps with numbers in the midfield. And yeah, the problem is that you don't have him up top as a target. Once he does that, he kind of eliminates himself.
I think the other issue is the speed, right? I think that's where you see the biggest difference.
That's correct, and that's where Patino is definitely needed. He's may not be faster than JD. He's definitely quicker than JD. But JD is a physical specimen, and he's more of the hold-up 9. And he played exactly his game last night, and he played it very effectively.
Yeah.
Just the only issue is that when the plays did come off and the runs did happen, and the distribution happened off of him, we just didn't finish very well. We kicked it right at the keeper. And how many saves did the keeper had? 6? No, not 6. That'd be 5, right? Because we had 6 shots on goal, 1 goal. So yeah, we had I guess he had 5 shots, and pretty much all of them are right at him. So
here's another issue I forgot to mention in the game. Is the same problem from like what happened last year. We're not taking shots from outside.
I disagree with you on that. If you look at
the second half, I wasn't really, but the first half we had opportunities to really take some shots from outside.
So according to the stats here, 4 of our shots were outside the box and 5 were inside the box. Compared to Detroit City, they had 10 shots, 2 on target. 9 were inside the box and 1 was outside the box. So
it made it, like I said last time, it kind of made it seem like they aren't really, because I saw Beckford had some like space to shoot. I think even David had a couple times that he could have shot from outside, and we just never took advantage of it. I don't know if they're just not trusting their shots. I think they just need to pull the trigger and see what happens.
And
I think toward the end of the match, instead of taking a shot from outside that doesn't take a lot of time, I think they were more inclined to get it to the end line to waste a little time in possession. Yeah. So they definitely had chances to shoot, especially in the second half, but it was after we were already up 1-0, and it wouldn't have wasted as much time had they done that rather than just go to the end line. And that's what they did constantly, is they did have the ball. They didn't have a lot of people around them in front of the net, and instead of just attacking the net or shooting from outside, they decided to take it to the end line just to, waste 15-20 seconds each time.
And I think their offense, Billy Forbes came in the 77th minute here. I think that, Billy did what Billy does and put out some shots. And, it was great to see Billy back. I got to see him as I was walking out of the stadium. He was still out with fans, so went down. And
I saw him during the warm-ups. It was awesome. I love seeing him in the league still. And he even posted on Instagram. He was filming himself in the stadium pre-match, and he just had it just had home on his post. So I mean, you love to see that. And Billy, dare I say, looked really good. A step above anything Detroit City had in the attack for sure. He looked great.
Pato didn't do crap the whole game. Our defense shut him down.
You know why Pato looked like crap? You know who was? So you had Tainor man marking. And completely shut him down. And then on the other side, the other forward they had, Manley completely shut him down. Those two, huge in this match. Very impressive. I did not expect the level of defense to be this good this early. They looked great.
So, odds and ends stuff here. We're gonna go to the land of MLS here first. Do you see it?
I know, community Chang squinty eye meme there. No,
that is the MLS championship banner for New York City FC. So
they went to Kinko's right before the game and printed it out on a 8.5 by 11 and put it up there.
Even the most diehard MLS fanboys I know were like, "This is not good." So it's just
it's peak MLS.
It reminds me of the movie Spinal Tap when they were supposed to have a big Stonehenge coming down, and it's a small one. That's what it's exactly what it is.
And then this is Royce's baby here. This is courtesy of FC Tulsa here.
It's pro referees in peak midseason form there. Oh yeah, they're 2 feet away. That's definitely a second yellow. And for that, DaCosta got sent off. Unbelievable.
No kidding.
I have no other words. I that's it. 2 feet away, pulled out. Dude still decides to fall. And by the way, speaking of falling, number 6 for Detroit City FC last night should get an Oscar for his acting, for his diving. It was bad. Like, there was one legitimate foul out of the 5 times that he was on the ground. And the funniest part is there was a photographer that was in front of us the first time I announced in the Oscar goes to, and he turned around and goes, "Hey, that's my son." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Yeah, that's my son. It's his first match in this league. I'm excited." And he had his camera and he's taking pictures. I was like, "Dude, that's amazing. Congratulations." But your son needs to stay on his feet though, dude.
It was Dunwell was the player here in pre-match.
That's correct. That's correct.
Pre-match, I was talking to his dad about, and he was pretty excited. I guess he came down here for work, and of course, he's playing here and he does photography and obviously, but yeah, that had to be pretty cool to be able to experience that.
That's an unbelievable moment. Unbelievable. I could not imagine how proud that dad was. But still, Dunwell, you got to stay on your feet, son.
Yeah, I saw them walking out of the stadium, and like I said here, they were obviously they weren't happy they lost. Don't get me wrong, but it was fun time. And Maxie, like I said here, welcome home. I know it wasn't the result that you wanted here, but you did a hell of a job. And like I said here, your careers, you've stepped up and done very well, for your career as far as for the other San Antonio player here that came in. Any thoughts on Maxie?
Yeah, I saw him in the tunnel before the game. Like I said, shout out to Taylor. Thanks for letting me do the pre-match 11 photo. But
keep rubbing it in, buddy.
It was great. It was amazing. I'm gonna post it immediately when I get it, hopefully tomorrow. But and I saw him in the tunnel, so congrats and welcome home, man. Unbelievable homecoming for Maxie, especially to be in the championship again. And after a couple years, I know he was with Richmond and he was with obviously Detroit City, but man, he looked like he belonged in that midfield.
Yeah.
I will say that Detroit City, their best asset on that lineup last night was their midfield. They were great.
Yeah,
they kept up with PC and Abu. They belonged for sure, and Maxie belongs in at least the championship. Man, he has matured and he is really good last night. Pato didn't have a lot to offer, but I don't think he had a lot to offer because I think he went against one of the top defensive lines in the league. And then Billy came in. I count Billy as San Antonian. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
Like I said, Billy looked really good last night. Definitely a different level of any attacking players that Detroit City showed. Maybe if you pair Billy with Pato, I think they'd have a lot more to show. But I will say the other defender, the one that Carter Manley kind of shut down, Atuene. Atuene.
Francis.
He had one shot where I was like, he's going to score on that. And somehow he missed. I think Bonilla actually had a really good save on it, but he looked pretty dangerous last night, and he's super fast. So maybe even pairing Atuene and Billy up top, maybe in a countering role for Detroit City, and just sit back in a 4-4-2. That might show a lot of success for, and then have Pato come on as a late sub. Because he's really good. He just didn't get any space because we suffocated him, which was exactly the game plan. So they have options. Detroit City has options. They're going to do a lot better than a lot of people think. But
I'm glad we got them early. I said agree. That from the start. If you play them,
they're going to score goals.
From now. Yeah,
they're going to score goals. It's just our problem is that back line for sure.
And I think that back line will get better too. They'll get more comfortable and get used to it as well. Just it's a huge difference to come from D3, whether it's USL League One or or NISA. It's a huge difference to make that jump. Final thoughts, guys. Before that, here I know Rafa. What do we got set up for Wednesday here?
Wednesday we're talking about some. I think I'll come up with another Power 15. We had some new district champs to be crowned. There was a couple upsets on Friday to mention, especially that crazy girls district.
Dripping Springs, though.
Yeah, that crazy 29-6A. It's just when you thought one team had the title, whoops, he almost had it. So that's coming down to the final game, and then, like I said, and then also maybe talk about a little possible matchups, and then get ready for bracketology. So the only in-person bracketology for high school was picked. So I'm really looking for that. And then also this afternoon, I'm going to be on the 50-50 podcast with Coach Cano.
So tune into that.
Statewide soccer, and there I'm going to come out with a statewide Power 15. So
any San Antonio schools in it, or mainly?
I think there might be 2 or 3 of them that I think do deserve to be in it. So just will be on the lookout for that today at about 4:00.
Royce, your final thoughts? I know you brought an army of family to the match here. So awesome job on help contributing to that 6,000.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, shout out Mike Taylor on the Mike Taylor Show on Ticket 760. He came out and joined me, as well as Sam on the show. So I helped put together their charity barbecue with the Salvation Army.
Oh, was that were they the ones that were sitting next to me?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's.
I thought it was him, but I was like, you never mentioned it, and I was like, I don't want to, be that guy. Hey, are you Mike Taylor? And
yeah, no, I helped put on their charity barbecue, so we've kind of, dare I say, become friends. But shout out to them. I mean, Mike's in from Hawaii. That's where he lives now because of his son. But he's it was a good time, man. It was awesome. Had my cousins come. We had a whole bunch of people come. So it was great. It's a big crowd. It was awesome. I enjoyed talking to everybody, and obviously enjoy the 3 points. And I'm going to say this, it's going to feel like I'm talking about last season, but 3 points is always good. But let's get healthy and go forward.
Yeah. So my final thought is, like I said here, April 2nd is the next match, and it's a big match against Phoenix. So please get your tickets.
Well, the next home match.
The home match, right? Next home match for that here. That's a couple of weeks away. Also, end of March, we traveled down to RGV. I believe it is, right? The second match, yeah, on a Sunday, March 27th, match down there. So if you can kind of look at it, I know gas is costing a couple of nickels right now for that here, but I saw the attendance at RGV. It looks sparse, so if we could get to a little bit above average from what goes down there, we might be able to make that a home pitch as well for HEB Park, which is the away home pitch, but to even have more support for that here, because that is unfortunately the closest away match that San Antonio fans can go to this year, since Austin is no longer around. But we'll revisit this Sunday morning show here. I like the idea, maybe adjust the time a little bit here. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Jose, David, Matt, thank everybody tuning in. If you catch it on the replay, please like and subscribe if you follow on YouTube. On Spotify, they have updated where you can give ratings just like iTunes. So if you like the show or don't like the show, if you can give us a rating, preferably like. Along those lines,
if you like or don't like, give us 5 stars anyway, please. It would help out. Appreciate it.
It helps get it out, get the information out, because we love doing the shows. It's a passion, like I said here, for that here. We're going to try to keep up with the content. We'll see about later on this week as far as trying to put something together for a pre-match for Los Angeles Galaxy 2. But being that they're a 2-team away, it's not as easy compared to pretty much everybody else in the West that I have contacts that we can set up, and East, actually, to be honest with you, for that here. So thank you for everybody getting up, especially where it's just now 9:00. You can finish watching the EPL matches that are going on right now for that here. And like I said here, thanks for everybody that came out last night. What's life without goals? Oh, and Scott, was awesome to see you. Next year, we're gonna have to get you on the show here, or even later on this year, we'll have to get you on the show. But it was awesome to see Scott.
It was definitely awesome to see Borowski.
So